pressure looks good.
Following up.
Wait a second. We don't have time for the whole intro. There's stuff happening in Boca Chica. Welcome back to another Boca Chica live stream. Starship SN5 is starting to activate again. So we're already past tank farm activity there. We're already into the propellant loading phase. On the screen, I'm here, Das, John Galloway, if you're watching. I'm also joined by Jack. How you doing, Jack?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. After a short break here, let's get this grain silo fired up.
Don't call her a grain silo, Jack. Jeez.
Oh, I messed up. I'm sorry.
And then we should also have Michael Baylor on the line. Michael, how are you doing?
I'm doing well and hoping that, I guess, the fourth, fifth time, depending on how you count it, is the lucky correct one where we get a good static fire. I'm not sure if the scrub during the tropical storm was actually really a scrub because they didn't start fueling it or propellant loading it, but since then we've had about 3 or 4 scrubs. So hopefully this static fire will be the one that actually goes off.
Yeah, all right. And then, of course, we have you can see it's gotten a little bit hotter over there at Boca Chica since the last time we spoke with you this morning. We have the live camera feed courtesy of Boca Chica gal, Mary, the resident Starship photographer extraordinaire, our favorite Denzian of Boca Chica, one of the few remaining Denzians of Boca Chica, set up, ready to see what happens with Starship SN5. Jack, what do we expect? We've already gone through all this morning, but give us a recap. What are we expecting from SN5 here? Hopefully, we think.
You know what? No expectations. SN5 can chill and take. No. We are
No
expecting. We are expecting a static fire of the Raptor engine currently attached to SN5. That Raptor is serial number 27. This is Starship prototype serial number 5. And yeah, we're not expecting a hop. We're not expecting anything crazy today. We don't want to see anything get airborne. If we do, that would be bad, other than a little bit of dust around the pad, which static fire generally does kick up. But yeah, we are hoping for a static fire of that Raptor engine, and that would clear the way for a 150-meter hop, hopefully soon.
All righty. And once again, we are live all over the place right now. We are taking questions. If you tag us in chat at NASA Spaceflight, we will try to answer them for you. They go into a queue, etc., etc. At this point, most of the people watching right now, like early into the stream, are probably old hands. You've heard us say this 1,000 times, but if you got questions for them, ask us what you want to know, and we'll see if we can answer it for you. So also, if you're over on Twitch, you know how to talk to me. Ethan's, you know how to talk to me. Hi, how's it going? Just have a chat, type in chat. We'll read what you're saying. Maybe we may ignore what you're saying. You never know. But hey, how are you going to know unless you give it a try? But let's see what we can get going here today at Boca Chica. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit because I literally ran upstairs with my lunch. Remember that tweet I sent yesterday about, sometimes I get in the shower and I can't even decide if I'm going to have to start up the stream or not. And I was downstairs putting some lunch together when the call to stream happened. I saw it in the sky, so I ran upstairs real quick. So
yeah, you're forever on call. Whenever that we throw up the DOS signal in the sky, you see it and you immediately jump into action. And for that, we're thankful. So yeah, I think we're looking at a lot of activity from the tank farm here. I mean, we could be moving into a testing flow rapidly. It seems like they didn't, or perhaps they didn't completely reset after that boat issue earlier today. What do you think, Michael?
I think, well, they reopened the pad, so I don't know. There's probably like some pre-testing items that they did not have to do again, but I'm sure they fully detanked the vehicle and whatnot for the pad crews to safely return and do whatever they needed to do. We're not quite sure if there was any minor issues in addition to the boat that caused the abort earlier today. They did not recycle right away, so that might have been an indication that they had to go back to the pad and check on something, and we did see the pad crews return like I mentioned. But whatever the issues were, if they did exist, they have now fixed them because they are making a second attempt today so far. So, like I was mentioning earlier, hopefully this will finally be the one. There are temporary flight restrictions now in effect on August 2nd and August 3rd, starting at 8 a.m. local time each day for the 150-meter hop attempt. Now, if they're actually able to make those days, or make one of those days, remains to be seen. They still have to get a good static fire in today, and then there'll be some, pre-flight checkouts and data review and whatnot. So still a lot of work to go before the 150-meter hop, but it could happen in pretty short succession after today's events if all goes well.
Well, I hope all goes well today. That's for sure.
Yeah, that
Again.
hop is going to be incredible.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that hop and to see this thing fly through the air. It's hard to believe that it's been coming up on a year now since Hopper did its 150-meter hop. So a year between test article flights. I think we want to see this thing get in the air really badly.
Yeah, this is going to be a big weekend. The schedule's full. There's the Bob and Doug are returning on Crew Dragon. Undocking is currently scheduled for August 1st. There's a good chance it'll slip to August 3rd because of weather. But whatever the case, you're going to have that Demo 2 undocking and landing somewhere close to the 150-meter hop. So that is going to be a lot of exciting events in short succession.
I love that we're under no shortage for spaceflight events. I mean, it's just constantly, and then we're even getting to the point where things are happening on the same days. It's just like, I mean, we had a Mars launch today, and we're having a Mars vehicle prototype test as well. It's like, this is a really great time. Well, at least some things about it, anyways.
A couple of super chats, Moldy Space Industries, $2. Thank you, Moldy Space Industries, for once again showing up. I think you're on pretty much all of our streams these days.
It's true.
They say, let's safely light and unlight this candle. Yes, that would be nice. And then Bill D with $20. Thank you, Bill. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, Bill. Thank you so much for the support there.
So the next thing we'll be looking to see is the liquid oxygen tank venting on the bottom left-hand side of Starship. That's usually the venting location that starts happening maybe 20 minutes or so before the static fire. It's hard to get an exact timeline because I think they have lots of built-in holds. So, one test flow, it might happen 10 minutes before the static fire, but then in another test flow, they might hold at some point after the venting starts, and then it's longer. It's really hard to get an exact timeline or an exact idea of where we are in the countdown from what we're seeing visually, but hopefully we'll hear that 10-minute siren that warns the residents, and that will give us an indication when there's about 10 minutes until the static fire is set to occur.
Oh, hey, look, my automated tweet thing worked again.
Yay.
Yeah, you
I numbered it
twice.
I said SN5 static fire test attempt number 2, 5 ? Live from Boca Chica, Texas. I think you were talking about how we're counting these, right? Did the one with the tropical storm / hurricane coming in, did that one count? Or I don't even know at this point.
This is our 5th stream, I think, so.
I've got 5 thumbnails. That's how I keep track.
I guess in SpaceX terminology, you can just call them all stand downs. That's usually what they tweet after. They usually don't say scrub, they usually say stand down. And I think stand down is more vague. At least in the shuttle era, scrub was only a scrub if it happened after propellant loading. That they never started propellant loading during the stand down, I guess you can call it, during the tropical storm.
Like a technicality, right?
Yeah.
There he is. Chris, stand by 1 second. Now introduce thyself, Mr. Gephardt.
Hey everyone, Chris Gephardt, Assistant Managing Editor of NASA Spaceflight. I liked what I heard when I hopped on there to hear the technical discussion of what's a scrub versus a delay. We're of one mind here at NSF on that.
Chris, did you make it back home safely from the Perseverance launch this morning?
I did, yes, and now I'm caffeinated and ready to go because we've got this and a Proton launch all within 2 hours, so let's go.
Oh, geez. Well, if we're sitting here for 2 hours, give me the link to the Proton launch, and I'll put it in a picture-in-picture or something.
Oh, 100%. That would be awesome. Yeah, they're YouTube streaming it, so this is awesome from Roscosmos. But yes, I made it home safe and sound from Perseverance with all the cameras and all the gear, and then saw this. And this is the second one you all are doing today, right? There was an aborted one, or I was driving home when the first one was happening. There was like an abort because of a ship or something like that.
I think it was like a small,
there's a
very small boat, it looked like.
Yeah.
Maybe like a private vessel. Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh.
Yep.
And this is and this would be space. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just asking, like this, and this is a private range, right? So this, like, did we actually get to see like SpaceX's response to it, of how they respond to private range incursions like that?
Sort of.
SpaceX hovered the drone over the offending boat.
Yeah, it looks like because we saw the drone like come across our camera from a different angle, so we think like the drone actually probably flew out to at least see what was going on. I don't know if they could actually communicate with them from the drone, but they were using the drone to see what was going on, and then they also sent out a boat. I don't know if it was like a police boat that they called to go out there, or if it was like a SpaceX boat, but another boat went out there to tell them to move. And they do have that Garmin radar you can see spinning on the top of Starhopper. According to SEC filings, that is used to look for boats in the range. I'm not sure if that's what picked it up, but it was close enough that they probably could have seen it on some of their PTZ cameras they have at the pad. It was super close. It was like just,
Oh wow.
it was in the water, like to the left of the pad, probably within half a mile of a fueled vehicle.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll get to the bottom of what was going on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, they will. Someone will. Wow, but glad they saw it and aborted from it. Yeah.
Yep, for
Wow.
sure. I wouldn't want to be where that boat was when if we had an SN4 sort of situation. I'm hoping we don't have things like that anymore, but you never know. That's why we have the minimum safe distance. We clear the range, clear the launch pad, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
All right. Well, again, we don't know. We don't have any exact timing. Oh, well, look at that. There is the lower vent on the left-hand side of SN5. So, Michael, what was I saying about we don't know the exact timing? That was the next thing you said we were looking for, right?
Yes, but we see the liquid oxygen tank venting now, so probably under 20 minutes until we see a static fire if all goes well. But again, there can be built-in holds, so we don't know exactly how long it would be. If you timed when the liquid oxygen tank started venting to the actual static fire of every single test, you would notice a difference, and that's because they have built-in holds.
Gotcha.
So something like 15 to 20 minutes if this follows a normal flow that we think we've seen before without any holds or anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds about right. I'm going to test the ambient real quick just to make sure that that's correct. Chris G, you should expect to hear this in Discord here. So right now, just some wind noise and somebody's air conditioner, but the ambient audio seems to be online and ready to hear some venting. So if you see venting from the top of the vehicle, sing out and I'll bring up the ambient audio again. So we're not just listening to wind noise constantly.
Oh, but where's the fun in not listening to wind noise? I mean, that's my favorite noise, standing on the ITL causeway at the Cape.
Yeah. And I'll let y'all take it away. I'm still sort of scarfing down my lunch here. Chris, I was saying I ran upstairs and I was downstairs eating my lunch when I saw that we went live. So y'all
Well,
take it away.
I was going to say, to be fair, in a couple minutes you're going to hear a ding, and that's the air fryer. My chicken nuggets will be done. So
Nice.
it's lunchtime here too. Well, so how close did they get this morning in the campaign?
It's
Do we think
about where we were right now. I think we saw the liquid oxygen tank venting, and like within 5 minutes they had to abort.
Ah, okay.
So how's the ambient sounding?
It's sounding like this.
I mean, the wind isn't as bad as I would have thought.
I can leave a little bit higher. Chat,
Yeah.
y'all tell me if the ambient audio is too loud for you to understand the host, and I can back it off a little bit more, but we'll sort of keep a little bit of an ear on it there. Do we know if the dishes are pointing at SN5 or no?
That would be a merry question.
That would be a merry question.
She said in chat that they are.
Okay.
Aha. Oh yeah, dish
They
is
are-
pointing to the launch
Oh yeah, I
site.
missed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dish is pointed at the launch site currently, which I would say is a good sign.
It's interesting because they did not point them at the pad for the previous attempt, unless they did it very late on and we didn't notice. But I think we had Mary check like a few minutes well into testing, and they were not. So
So Jack, remember when we were talking about the dishes and how close they are to SN5, and we were wondering if you could be too close to your dish? Like those long-range dishes are designed to talk to, I don't know, space. And if you're a mile and a half away, does that mean that you're too close for the dishes? And Chad was sort of like, oh yes, oh no, I'm a signal operator, da 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 da. You will never guess what happened with the Perseverance launch this morning.
No, what happened? Tell me.
Oh no! This is too fun. No, Jack, yes. Like,
No, I mean I know there was a comms issue. I was teeing that up, but go ahead. What?
I already told him, Chris, and we've already discussed this before we started.
why you need to send me a memo? Sorry.
No, so the Mars 2020 launch that launched out of Cape Canaveral on that Atlas 541 this morning, they separated the spacecraft. Everything went fantastically. The trajectory was just straight down the pipe. Spacecraft separation, all nominal. Centaur stage cruising away. And then they had some communications problems with Mars 2020, the spacecraft carrying Perseverance and the Ingenuity helicopter, right? And what we heard from JPL was that since they use the DSN dishes, the Deep Space Network, to talk to those rovers and spacecraft, right when it separated, it was way too close to the DSN, and so the transmit power from the spacecraft was so high, it was sort of like blowing out their speakers, basically. Not really speakers, but you know what I mean. And they were having to tune the DSN because Mars 2020 was too close to the dishes. And then once it gets further away, they'll have the signal power, and they need to be able to punch that signal all the way back to Earth. But right after it separated, right when they were trying that initial AOS, they were too close to the dishes. So that can be one bit of evidence. We can say, yes, it is possible to be too close to your dish.
Yeah, that's nuts. I'm glad they were able to figure it out so quickly. I forget what cheeky comment I made earlier, but look at all that venting coming off the vehicle.
Wow.
Well, the communication side of it is really interesting because I don't know. I wouldn't have thought that you could like overload a communications disk because you were too close to it. I don't know. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah, they said that it was the same problem that they had with the Curiosity launch. And somebody made the snide remark that after 9 years, you would think that they would have come up with a solution, but they said it was a normal thing, and it was something that they could work through. They have to like tune or reconfigure a DSN dish or something, and then it naturally resolves itself also as the spacecraft gets further from Earth.
It's interesting that it was a power issue and not like a, you know, it wasn't in like a minimum focal range kind of thing. It was just too loud, essentially. So I guess the next thing, if you're just joining us, we've got 7,000 people here now. If you're just joining us, we are waiting on a static fire of this vehicle. It could very well be in the next several minutes here. So the next thing we would look for after all the venting from the tank farm and the venting from the vehicle, that lower LOX tank vent, we're going to be looking for some condensation coming from that skirt, the lower skirt area around the Raptor engine. I don't see any yet. So yeah, I think once we see that Raptor starting to get chilled down, and then of course that 10-minute siren from the police that the residents are told to wait for. We're waiting for that 10-minute siren. Once we hear that, we know it's on. So if you're wondering what we're looking for, that's it.
I don't think we saw a big vent like that earlier. That's a serious vent right there, isn't it?
This reminds me of Falcon 9's big 20-minute vent. I don't know if that's. I mean, I know the 20-minute vent is supposed to be a line purge, and this is not a line purge, but it's certainly. I don't know. This looks like a vehicle that's ready to go to me. Maybe I'm just optimistic, but
yeah, there's like 20 knot winds out there, so that's also blowing that condensation to the left quite quickly.
God, remember the other night when we were live and the vapors were just sort of piling up around the pad like a bank of fog? We were
that looked awesome.
Yeah, that looks so cool. That's a huge vent. And just so everybody knows, if I see something interesting, like if I see the top start to vent, I may crank the ambient really quickly so that we can hear the venting noises and stuff. So just be advised that the stream may get loud suddenly.
There we go.
There we go. Oh!
That's a siren right there, folks.
Well, that's 10 minutes, I think.
That is the 10-minute siren right there. The residents of Boca Chica receive a warning saying that they will receive a police siren about 10 minutes before the significant event may occur. And we're all on the same page. We all agree that was a police siren.
I think so.
Chad,
No,
you
that
agree
was that was clearly not a police siren. Let's debate this for 20 minutes.
What's an
It
ambulance
sounded
siren?
more like a moderately inconvenienced vehicle. No, that's-
Oh, geez. So that's
So
I've note the time.
I've got my 10-minute timer set here. So we are currently at 9 minutes and 18 seconds if it holds to siren time. And I have gotten within a couple seconds of T0 before, if you remember SN4's last firing. So hopefully it's accurate as whatever it is. And we're at about 9 minutes to go here. Let's do this. Let's light this thing.
That's cool. That is still a serious vent. Oh, in the top as well. That's odd.
Is that not normal? I thought I remembered seeing that.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that before. That's normal.
Okay, we've seen that one.
Yeah.
Just the 20-knot winds probably making it look a little bit different.
I mean, it does look different than the one that's coming straight at us.
Yeah.
That it's offset a little bit. I don't think it's bad or anything. It's just new or different.
We've seen that. Yeah. Cool. It's like a big tea kettle. It should start whistling. Well, I guess it whistled. The siren went off, right? So about 10 minutes before we pour our tea.
Is it just me, or is the plumbing heading up to the pad really frosty? Or is that always white like that?
It's really prominent. I thought that too, but
if I rewind, there's like the right on the elbow where it makes that right angle at the top. That has definitely frosted up, but maybe not the rest of it.
Yeah, I think
hard to say.
Some of the pipes are painted white.
Yeah.
There might be like insulation on them or something.
Totally.
In chat, I'm keeping the ambient up because we don't want to miss any raptor roars or vents or anything like that. So if the wind noise is too much for us, let me know. But I am intentionally keeping the ambient up because we're less than 10 minins away from... Is that another siren?
Yeah. I guess
It's probably... Yeah, it's probably
back.
the same guy coming back. Yeah.
Off in a distance, right?
Yep. Here he comes.
All right, Doppler, do your work.
So do we all want to try to be quiet during the static fire and just let the ambient audio do the work?
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. And I can also force everybody to shut up with a click. I can make everybody stop talking. Haha.
Yeah. I cannot wait. This microphone is such an upgrade over what we had before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the audio from the Raptor should be absolutely epic. If the audio from all the previous tests and the venting and anything is anything to show, this should be particularly spectacular.
And we do see super chats and stuff like that, questions and stuff going in. We're going to put all those in a temporary planned hold until after the event. So thank y'all so much for that support. We'll read through them after the event here, but we do see them coming in. 10,500 people watching this right now, y'all.
absolutely fantastic. Today's a big day for space. I mean, let's think about this. We sent a rover and a helicopter to Mars, and now we're going for static fire attempt number 2 on a Starship that'll take us to Mars one day. Good day, good synergy.
Yeah, and I'm staring down the video. I'm trying to keep my focus on the video so I can make sure we don't miss any sweet ambient audio. But less than 10 minutes. Jack, what's our timer say?
We're at 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes from Siren. We don't know if that's
Siren.
when it's going to go. We don't know. And there could be a built-in hold. There could be a number of factors that make that number inaccurate. But strictly from the Siren, 5 minutes, 30 seconds.
Nice. My wife just asked, does the timer start from the beginning or the end of the siren? It's not an
Well,
exact science.
that's a really valid question, but from what we can hear, and I think Mary can correct us in chat if I'm wrong, but she really shouldn't. She should be paying attention to what's going on in front of her. I think the officer with the siren starts near her, goes and does a lap of the complex, and then comes back and ends near her. So when we hear the siren is when the siren starts, and so my timer is from the start of the siren. That's really not that interesting. Let's shut up and watch this thing go.
Well, I like that the officer does the lap, and then when he gets back over to Mary, he like high fives her.
What
Whoa!
was that, Chris?
I just dropped something. That's all.
Oh,
Sorry.
We've had a run of chicken nuggets on the range.
well, thank goodness, no, they're fine. The fork, on the other hand, floor contaminated now.
So if you're just joining us, a static fire is likely to occur around 3 p.m. local time. You can see the clock on the top left of your screen. Might not be exact because they could have a built-in hold of some sort if they have any issues that need to work, but starting around 3 p.m. we could see a static fire.
The amount of venting that's coming from the bottom, I hope something happens. You can't vent that much for that long without doing something interesting.
By all accounts, it definitely looks like a vehicle ready to go. And we've had that siren, so let's just light this thing. Let's do this. Go Raptor, go Starship SN5.
Yep.
Okay, 59 minutes. Do we just listen in now?
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
muting my mic so I don't accidentally scream or something.
All right, we're at 3 minutes from siren. Again, we don't know if that's actually when this is going to go. It's possible that there's a hold or anything that could occur that makes that 3-minute number inaccurate. But strictly from the siren, we are looking at 2 minutes 50 seconds right now, and I will be quiet so we can listen in.
Jack, give us like 60 seconds and 30 seconds, just a quick call out if you could.
Can do, and I will say nothing else, I promise.
Thanks. And again, remember that the siren is not an exact science. It's not like exactly 10 minutes after the start of the end of the siren or whatever. Maybe just do the 60-second one, Jack, so we have some warning.
One minute to go. It's been 9 minutes since the siren. We don't know if that's still it's going to fire, but there you go.
All right, we'll rig for silent commentary running here.
$30 seconds.
There you go. That right there looked like a static fire, didn't it?
And it looked like a good one too. There is no fire at the pad. That is good.
Yeah, I don't see anything on fire at the pad. We got the kick up of dust indicating that the Raptor engine created some thrust. That's what we want. We don't just want some spark or a little flame or a fireball. We wanted some actual thrust, and that's what we saw. It looks like they just banged that out, didn't they?
Yeah, that looked flawless. It looked effortless almost. I mean, there's barely any. We didn't even really see anything kicked up besides a little bit of dust. No debris, no nothing. That looked great.
No flare stacks fell over. We don't have a water tank that's leaking out the side.
I mean, from the 10-minute siren and the approximate count, I mean that seemed dead on with no holes, which is awesome.
It's almost like somebody told them to just get it done already.
and we're not seeing any leaky quick disconnects right now, and I can guarantee you they have tested that just now, because based on what happened last time, they're going to want to make sure they get that right.
Yeah.
So now the path is clear for a 150-meter hop. I mean, we don't know if they're going to go right to it.
Depending on the data, but it's definitely a possibility.
Hopefully they can get good data out of this. They see what they like, and we can progress rapidly onto a 150-meter hop. I know everybody is dying to see that happen. I know I am, for sure. But yeah, it'll take them a little bit to review the data. They'll go over it, and if they like what they see, this thing's gonna fly.
So again, remember, there's still fuel, there's still oxidizer in the vehicle. We're not out of the woods yet. We did see what looked like a good static fire. The pad's not on fire. Tanks haven't fallen over. All of those things are good. I don't know. I wonder. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled to see if we don't see Zeus walking around somewhere. It's going to be really difficult with the haze.
That's a really good idea, though. I bet you we could, even though there's really bad haze, because he's brightly yellow painted and he would be moving around. So, well, I shouldn't say it. But yeah, I'm looking for it now. It's a good call. I didn't even think of that. Moldy Space Industries, you, I don't even know what to say. Thank you. Holy cow.
What was that?
$42. Hang on, I gotta bring up the panel.
It's the answer. Thanks, Moldy Space.
So yay, Static Fire. Here's a little more cash than normal to celebrate the Static Fire, Mars 2020, my little promotion, and your 100K subs. Congrats to everyone at SpaceX and NSF. Special thanks to Thomas and Tyler. Well, thank you so much, Moldy Space. What?
Never mind. I had a bad idea.
You had a bad idea? What was your bad idea?
No. Sorry, the road closures is updated. I got my notification, but I realized that we shouldn't cut away right now, so I'm going to check what they are myself, and I will relay what has changed. But I'm guessing they just might have entered the road closures for the hop. Let's see. As the website loads,
but thank you so much, Moldy Space.
Road closures for the hop have gone into effect just after the static fire attempt.
Nice.
I'm going to verify the document actually says that, but based on the two dates match the TFRs, and
is it possible? I'm just asking for like the edification of like how the road closure notices work. Is it possible?
Hey, breaking news. Elon just tweeted, Starship SN5 just completed a full duration static fire 150-meter hop soon. Sorry to interrupt you there, Chris.
Never mind. That actually answers the question I was going to ask. Continue.
Wait, did Elon put that in the tweet? Sorry to interrupt you, Chris.
I wish, but no. My ego is bad enough. We don't need it, stoked to that level.
Interesting. So the road closures actually do say static fire, but they have an attempt on the 31st, which would be tomorrow. So I'm not sure if these were like filed earlier today and they just happened to come out right now. But the backup days match the timing on the TFRs that are for the hop. So who knows? And I don't know if like the launch name designation that they put on these is actually accurate. It's been inaccurate in the past. So I would say a hop is still possible on August 1st or 2nd based on the TFRs being in effect, because the TFRs are pretty large for the hop, so they would cancel those if there was no chance.
Can we watch a replay?
It'll take me a second to set that up. I'm not going to jump away from the live view right now, though.
Oh, I was going to say, right, we should, okay, good point. We should probably stick to this screen. I'm so jazzed. I'm going to watch it.
I want to make absolute sure we don't miss anything here.
So, what do you think they're detanking now? Looks like that vent on the left has stopped. It would make sense.
The whole farm is sort of silent right now.
It's kind of gotten quiet there.
Yeah, that's curious.
Which would, I mean, it would make sense. I'm just trying to like get a feel for what we're looking at as we see different changes and activity at the site. That way, you know, we know a little bit more about the tea leaves we're looking at as we try to interpret them in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm rewatching the static fire. There is absolutely nothing kicked up except for some dust. I just feel like I've seen so many static fires where just like debris or trash or just whatever gets kicked up around the site. That just looks so clean. I wonder if that's because of all the preparation they've been doing at the pad, or if, you know, it just happens to be a nice clean day today. I don't know, but that looked like a really, really beautiful, great static fire. And now we know it's a full duration static fire too. So good data hopefully is in the airwaves and in the fiber optic lines headed towards where it needs to go, and they can analyze it and we can get this thing hopping ASAP.
Yeah. And I'm just 2 seconds away from the replays here. We can put it in a picture-in-picture.
There's more depressing.
And Michael, could you remove the checklist just real quick?
Yes, I can.
There we go. That should get us the replay right there. And it's not exactly cropped exactly right, but that's fine.
Whatever.
So, upper left-hand corner is the replay. That is the replay of the static fire that's going to happen. Easy peasy.
Just a bunch of dust, nothing else. Yeah, lemon squeezy. That is super easy.
Yeah. And we can certainly do that a few times here.
I should probably run through some super chats and whatnot, huh?
Oh, yeah. That's probably a good time for that.
Rough Rider Show, thank you for the $2.99. Love you guys. Light it. Well, they did. They all just because of you. You your super chat, Rough Riders. Thank you. Timo Celeranta, thank you for the 100 STK. Aces Dawn 1 says, for the Merry Hydration Fund, you are all great. Thanks for the $5, buddy. And thanks for everybody. Your support makes stuff like this possible. Let's see. And then CGX with a $5 super chat. Awesome, CGX. Thank you so much. Curbulex. That's a cool name. Curbulex with the... let's see. How much was it? I clicked it too soon. $5.
There you
Let's
go.
hope for no RUDs. Yeah, and again, your $5 ensured that there was no RUDs. We've got Phantom Hollow, new member. Thank you for the new membership, Phantom Hollow. Also, J, K, and L Skillo, also new members. Thank you for the new memberships. We hope you enjoy your sweet member perks. And then let's see, what else we got? Cole Logan, thanks for the $2. Cole Logan says, woohoo! Very articulate. Definitely, I mean, I'm feeling woohoo right now. I'm feeling very jazzed. And I'm looking at this replay just over and over again. Like, oh my gosh, they finally fired it. They finally fired it. So woohoo is an appropriate sentiment, Cole.
And I'm slowing it down a little bit there so we can watch it in sort of slow motion.
Nice. Dougal, thank you so much for the $5.50 Canadian. Say big thank you to all of NSF and especially Mary. Yep, thanks, Mary. Hey, chat. Now you know what to do. It's officially thanks, Mary time in chat.
It is officially. It's always officially thanks, Mary time, right?
Yeah, exactly. As is appropriate, given her level of dedication to this. Giovanni Lezzi, what is this? What is CRC? What kind of currency is that? 1,000 CRC. Come on, someone, press the red button. You can tell. Can you tell some of these are from before the static happened?
Yeah, Costa Rica Colon.
Oh, cool. I always like seeing the different currencies, and then of course chat is just nonstop. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat, for doing your part.
And they should be.
And then we've got ours Theo with the $10. Ours says, "Let's get this dono train rolling. Keep up the amazing job, everyone. Floridian here, considering moving to Cape Canaveral, work for SpaceX. Good luck, man. Cape Canaveral's not a bad place to live and work, I'm told. So go for it." And thank you for the $10.
No, it is not. It's a good place.
It is?
Yeah, the Cape Canaveral area. It's a good place to live. Yeah. Really
Okay,
good.
that's what I said, right? I didn't say anything.
Yes. No. I was agreeing with you. Yes. Yeah. No.
Okay. You gave me like a heart attack for a split second there. I was like, oh God, was I talking smack about Cape Canaveral and not really?
No, and then you gave me a heart attack because I was like, wait, what did we understand about that? I was just agreeing with them and being
We're
nice.
friends. We're friends,
We are.
Jonas. This is why we're friends. All right, Framik, thanks for the £5. 7,000 people and 400 likes. Get liking for NSF, please. Well, thankfully that ratio is a little bit different now, but still, well, hit that like button if you feel like it. If you enjoy what you're watching, hit the like button. And thank you, Framik, for the £5. I always want to say euros. I know the euro is the C with the line through the weird E looking thing. Whatever. I'll figure it out one of these days.
The fancy
Osman
Jack.
Fox.
Yeah. Just remember, Brexit.
Oh God. I'm trying to like speed run through these and they just keep coming. So I will get through them eventually. I promise. And we'll talk about rocket things. Ask your questions at NASA Spaceflight in chat, and we'll answer your questions as we wait for pad to be open again. Let's see.
This is 20% speed. I'm playing it back in the picture-in-picture there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, and the nice vent right at us there on the beam.
Osman Fox, thanks for the Canadian $5. How about setting up a directional mic? Pal 9000, thanks for the €10, 11 euro. Say NSF, thanks for a day of coverage. Brian Bradshaw, new membership. Awesome, Brian. Thank you, Brian. We love our members. And then Death Knight XCR, thanks for the $5. They say, thank you for your wonderful coverage. Keep up the excellent work. Can't wait in the data center, or can't watch in the data center while working, but as a podcast, I love it. Yeah, I figure a lot of people can't actually watch, but do like to listen. And so we're glad you do. If you enjoy our content, however you consume it in the pitch black room with just audio, and I'm happy that you're consuming our content. Although that would be kind of awkward, right? Wayward Plane with $5 says, "Grats, allow me to buy you all a beer." And by that I mean one beer for you all to share. You might need an eyedropper. Well, thanks, Wayward Plane. As long as you don't scrub any tests, I think we're on good terms. And then, let's see, what else we got? Oh my God, there's so many. Good problem to have. Thank you, everybody, for the support. Jim Aldridge, thanks for the $20 Canadian. Static Fire, finally, excellent. Hopefully on to Hop this weekend. Great coverage, NASA Spaceflight. Thank you so much for the kind words, Jim. We really appreciate it. We really do. And then Javon Cabarrus, that name looks familiar. Thank you again, Javon. You're starting to become a familiar here. Or a regular, I should say. familiar. The answer to life is 42, Javon says. And I'm not inclined to disagree.
Thank you, Das, because that's where I went to with the familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I did in my head and was like, just keep going. But here we are.
Is that the drone? Is that the drone flying there to the left of the screen, about halfway between Starship SN5 Static Fire and the big gray tank?
I'm looking. I do not see anything. You're not talking about the weather station, right?
It might be the weather station. I might just not be seeing the pole that goes up to it. I've seen something above.
Is it directly above the vertical black, the tallest vertical black tank?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, weather station.
Ah, okay.
No worries.
See, I was so focused on Starship earlier that I never looked at the tank farm.
Just the way that conditions are lining up right now, the heat distortion, the lighting, everything. That and the compression, I think, in the video as well. All it just conspires to make that central vertical pole disappear. We should get some X-Files music in here if we weren't going to get copyright struck. Oh God! Oh God!
Look, wait! I gotta pause real quick, Jack. You're in the middle of the super chats and stuff like that, but I gotta pause right quick. My buddy EJ over on Twitch texted me and he said we gotta listen to the audio again. So I'm gonna pipe the audio back for y'all. I want y'all to listen to this audio very carefully. Look, let's see. Let me know if you can hear this. And chat, you should be able to hear this as well. Let's listen to the audio. Can y'all make that out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Somebody yelled, "It's still there!"
that's awesome.
Sorry, proceed. I went through and I listened to it. I'm like, somebody did yell, "It's still there."
I mean, I think we all kind of had the same sentiment. Let's see. Blocka, thank you for the $5. What a day. A rocket to Mars. Starship SN5 fires up. NASA Space Flight Team hit 100K subs. Boom. Mary's work. Or love Mary's work. Well, thank you so much, Blocka. I couldn't have said it better myself. Andy Mack, new member. Themo. I'm just going to say Themo. New member. John L., new member. Activated. We got a whole bunch of new members. Thank you to our new members, and we hope you enjoy the various perks that you're getting. I can't see what levels you're joining in at right now. Specifically, I'll have to scroll through chat and see, but if you're Capcom and above, I think you get the Discord access, the super sneaky Discord access. That'll be fun for you. Hop in there and say hi to us whenever you get the invite. I know it might take a little bit for that to propagate, but patience. And then everyone, you get everybody, not just Capcom, but everyone gets the Discord emojis and the preview videos before the daily videos go live and all that good stuff. So thank you to our members. That's awesome. And I swear I'm almost done with reading all of these. Fuba44, thank you for the 50 DKK. They say, can the quick disconnects reconnect for detanking? Yeah, I think they can. I think they're quick disconnects, reconnects. I'm not sure how, what the proper nomenclature with that would be, but yeah, I think they basically can connect or disconnect. And I don't know if is that a unique thing to Starship? Do they normally just disconnect and stay disconnected? Is reconnecting a thing that they can normally do? I don't know.
They normally stay disconnected because things lift off, right?
Yeah, but the Starship ones can reconnect.
And that's
right. But was the question if that was unique to Starship?
Yes, and I think that sort of is unique.
Interesting. Well, cool. That's a nice little fun little tidbit there.
Because on most rockets, they sort of just like get yanked off, and they fall down. They can't go back up.
Well, and I mean, it makes sense, right? Because until the Falcon 9, nothing really flew back to like the actual launch site where it could just be picked up and put right back on the stand, right?
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
So what happens if that's the case? What happens when a rocket scrubs and the disconnect has come off, but it has not lifted off? Does like a red team would have to go to the pad and reconnect that so it could detank?
Well, it won't detach unless it launches. They usually get pulled off by the force of it launching.
Okay, that makes sense.
There is a currently flying rocket though to which that applies. Actually, the Ariane 5, which is going to launch tomorrow. When the servicing arms that load the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen into the second stage pull back at T-7 seconds, if the rocket scrubs after that, they have to roll back to the assembly building to put them back on.
Oh, wow.
So,
there you go.
So these autonomous reconnectors will save weeks of time. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. That was a really good question there. And then a good super chat. Thank you. Oswin Fox, thanks for the $5 Canadian. Curious how well it will be able to land with the offset thrust causing the body to lean to one side. I'm also curious about that. I think we all are, and I think we're all looking forward to see quite exactly how that plays out. It should be spectacular one way or another, that's for sure. Framic, thanks again for another super chat. £5 this time. They say brilliant stream. Thanks, guys. Get the likes up. Yeah, get the likes up. Nikki431 says, this old mom loves you guys. Oh, you're sweet, Nikki. Thank you for the €5. Named P, thank you for the $10. $10 is a whole bunch of money. Thank you, buddy. I mean, all of this, any amount of money is seriously. I've said it before, I'll say it again. People hesitate to spend 99 cents on an app in this day and age. An app they use all day, every day. So thank you for the $5, for the $10, for whatever you guys can contribute. Thank you so much. And Lucas Kohler, thank you for the 20 CHF. They say thanks for the awesome coverage. Carlos Martins, thank you for the €5. And Sam Halter, thank you for the $20. Wow, $20. They say, anyone see any water suppression system? I don't think they were suppressing water.
They were not. I was looking for that to see it actually. Like
no, it was a bad joke. I was saying they're suppressing water because they said water suppression, which I know they didn't actually mean, but I was being stupid and you ruined it. But no, I didn't see any. I didn't see any sound suppression.
I'm multitasking. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm just joking. But yeah, I didn't see any sound suppression. Did you guys?
They definitely have it though. I think it's just the wind blowing it away from us behind that berm, but they definitely had water on.
Okay, so we've gotten through all our super chats, and I seriously just can't say thanks to everybody enough. Holy cow! Wow, I think we had over 10,000 people at one point on the stream, and it's really awesome that everyone's so into this sort of spaceflight activity that they're willing to tune in at all hours of the day, and watch a tank fire up.
It was 15, Jack.
Wow.
Yeah, 14,994 was the peak that YouTube is reporting to me here. So,
excellent.
Yeah. That's a lot of people coming to watch this tea kettle go off.
Tea kettle.
Don't call her a tea kettle.
Yeah, so what do you guys want to do now? You want to take some questions? I don't know. I'm not sure how you want to play this, but Lottie Anderson, new Pad Rat membership. Thank you, Lottie. I hope I'm not butchering your name, but I suspect I am.
I'm getting caught up. I was multitasking as well.
And Ron Smith with the $2 super chat. Ron Smith says, "Me too."
Me too. Nice.
Also me. I'm gonna try and pull some questions out of the chat here. Let's see what I can do.
Somebody wants their SN5 Hot Predictions.
Like, what do we think is gonna happen?
Like, result. Success or failure.
I say successful hop, successful landing.
I concur.
I'm thinking successful hop, and they may learn something about their landing legs. How's that sound?
Yeah. Chris, what were you going to say?
See, it's so hard because I instantly like flip-flopped back and forth between both of those in my mind. I think it'll leave the stand fine. I think it'll translate just fine. I think the biggest question of this, just based on Starhopper's performance and how Raptor performance and reliability has increased since then, will really come down to the completely new deployable landing leg sequence and how that's interacting with the Raptor that's firing and all of that stuff. But if I'm a betting person, I'd say we'll have a standing Starship at the end of the test.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair bet. I don't think they would do it unless they had a reasonable confidence in the fact that it would land okay. But Joss is right. They might learn something about that leg design, and it's an outdated design, right? Do we already know that they are working on? Do we already know they're working on a second leg design? I think we do, but I don't know if
I think they're working on a second design for basically everything, right? I mean, that's a
yeah. No, that's you're not incorrect. That's a good way to look at all of this. I mean, that's why I like to call it a Starship prototype SN5 instead of just calling it SN5, because I like to emphasize that this is a prototype vehicle. It's not a full vehicle even, and things are changing rapidly. So that's a very good observation.
Yeah, and learn something about the legs could be anything from like a couple of them don't deploy as they expect or lock into place as expected to the deployment sequence, actually occurs in real time slightly differently than they expect. But, learning something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to land and tip over to one side,
Yeah, I think if something goes wrong during the hop, it's going to be something like a small subsystem, like a landing leg or a RCS thruster not working or something. I think the Raptor engine is probably going to work. From what we understand, the Raptors are doing really well in the test stand right now. Like Reagan, Blue Moon Dance, I think is her handle on Twitter. She lives near McGregor, and they're having like several minute-long firings on the Raptor test stand. And combine that with the fact that pretty much every static fire we've seen with the Starship prototype out of Boca Chica has been successful on the Raptor, from the Raptor standpoint. So, I mean, there's always a chance something could go wrong with the engine. It's still a new engine, but in terms of probabilities, I think the Raptor working is a lot higher than it was with SN5, with Starhopper, when we saw it kind of start to fail at the very end of the hop.
Yeah, I think the real question in terms of like the functionality of the Raptors in terms of like the overall test sequence will come with the like 3-kilometer hop, the 20-kilometer hop, those types of things where they're really going to be stressing the entire system as much as possible during ascent and landing.
Yeah. And based on what Elon said, I think the mid-air restart is the biggest thing that you can't test it on a test stand very well. So I think that's probably the biggest test for Raptor that lies ahead.
Yeah,
True.
My big concern about the landing is the lack of, like, I'm going to call it a wheelbase, right? Because Hopper was short and it had that super wide wheelbase, and even the Falcon 9s, they have the landing legs that give it that really wide stance. And these landing legs, they're so skinny, they don't give you a very wide stance. So I feel like it's going to be really sensitive to lateral motion and the friction between the landing surface and SN5, because SN5 is tall. It's a lot taller than a Hopper. So my big thing, we know that they can make it fly. We know that they can make it come back down again. We know that they can throttle it so that it lands softly. I think the lateral motion in the test is going to be the biggest thing to look out for.
Actually, I hadn't even considered that. Yeah, just how skinny. I mean, the whole thing is basically an inline design because of how they have to fold up into the airframe.
Yeah,
I hadn't considered the reduced stability that would give to the overall landing profile. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that it's possible because SpaceX nails those drone ship landings, right? It's just I think that this is in true SpaceX fashion going to work towards the right design. I know because if you've ever built something in Kerbal that has really skinny landing legs like that and is really tall, you go and try to land on the moon, you learn very quickly about the importance of the nice wide stance, right? So we'll see.
Well, and which is exactly what I was going to say actually to the Falcon 9 landings. I mean, how many videos have they released? Right, I mean, at least a couple, right, or at least one where we've seen the Falcon 9 like dancing and like leaning a lot, and then boom, it rights itself. And when the barge is really rocking and rolling out there in the Atlantic. But yeah, because I mean, this is a system, right, where like they want to really reduce the weather constraints for landing operations, especially if this is going to be an Earth point-to-point vehicle at some point, weather in Florida could be great 45 minutes when you launch from Australia, and by the time you get here in 45 minutes, it ain't. So yeah, that's going to be interesting, Dawes. I think that's a really good thing to watch as the sort of landing legs evolve over time.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they will land these things successfully. I don't think that you can look at SpaceX and say, well, they'll never figure it out. It'll never work. Like, we know that we can land things. You go all the way back to Delta Clipper, and we know that we can vertically land things, right? But just learning about the new design and how this whole thing's going to fit together, how Starship and Super Heavy fit together, and how all those legs work, and how do they fit up inside the skirt. And there's definitely still a lot of learning, but today's test definitely puts them well on their way to the next step in the process, right?
Certainly.
Agreed.
So do you want to take a few more questions and wrap it up, or what's our plan?
Yeah, Chris, we were talking in the back channel about the Proton launch that we know is coming up, but that's over an hour away, I think, right?
Yeah, we've been
it's 55 minutes away, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been on air for a long time today, so I don't know. Hard to say.
We all have. I wasn't actually going to suggest to the team that we do a stream of Proton, given like how early we were up for Perseverance, and then the first attempt at a static fire, let alone two. I was not going to suggest that the team roll forward with that.
Yeah, so quite a few people asking in chat about Proton. We've been up super early so that we could catch the Mars 2020 launch. Chris was up even earlier than that to drive all the way down to Cape Canaveral. You had to wake up a few hours before the actual launch, and the launch was at 7:50 a.m. So, Chris,
I got up at 3 a.m. this morning. Yes.
Yeah. And Jack and Michael are over on the West Coast, so they were up ridiculously early as well. So even though we're aware that Proton is launching, and surprisingly we weren't sure we were going to get a live stream or not, we're not going to stay live on the channel here to cover that profile. We appreciate everybody asking us to do that, but today has been a very long day, and I think we will let Roscosmos launch it themselves.
But here's the offer I will make. The live stream goes live in 30 minutes. The launch is at 17:25 EDT, 21:25 UTC. I will be at my computer. I'll be tweeting about it. If anyone watching on this stream has any questions, you can absolutely feel free to ask those questions to me via Twitter as we go through the launch of the Proton. We're only going to be covering launch to orbit insertion though, because it's an 18-hour long mission. I'm not staying up that long. So we can eat and sleep and then come back for the end of the mission on that one.
Chris, you know how you wanted
that-
to stay out on the causeway until the end of the mission? You just wanna,
Yeah, I wouldn't have asked for that on a Proton.
you better bring a tent, man.
But that's the offer I'll make to anyone. If you do have questions about the Proton, about Roscosmos, about the mission that's going on with that, feel free to ask me on Twitter at ChrisG_NSF. Wow, I almost forgot my Twitter handle there for a minute, but there you go.
I'll get that link in a chat to your Twitter there, Chris, so people can ask. So if you've got questions for Chris, that is a link to his Twitter profile right there, ChrisG_NSF. Make sure I typed it correctly. I did. That's the right picture of that guy. So you should send some questions over there. All right, so let's clear out the old super chat queue, and I guess we answered this question. Are you streaming the Proton launch? We are not going to stay live for the Proton launch. Chris, really quickly, somebody asked, why were you eating chicken nuggets with a fork?
That is a good question. Well, the honest answer is because I need my hands grease-free to be typing on the keyboard and working the mouse as we're live on there. So that's why I was using a fork. Yeah.
That's why you were using a fork. Good idea. You don't want to get chicken nugget grease and sauce all over your keyboard, right?
Whoa.
Yes, I'm going to take this up for the youngins, but it's like that. It's not like that Seinfeld episode where they eat Snickers bars with a knife and fork. That's not what I was doing. It was very practical. And there was a reason.
Look at this. Is this drone footage?
It's a image.
Where is that? Is anyone else hearing that?
Yes, I am. What is that?
Where is that coming
From
from?
the microphone.
That
Yeah,
sounds
the
like the
microphone.
ambient. I'm going to bring the ambient down. That sounds like a modem really close to the mic cable there. But let me see if I can bring this up really quickly. This is an image that Elon...
I've got it if you're not going to have it in a second.
Yeah, I'm good to go. I just have to do that right there. So look at that aerial image that Elon tweeted of the static fire. That must be from the drone, huh?
Whoa,
That's
that's
so
gotta
cool.
be.
What a shot.
That's cool.
What a shot.
Wow, look at how shiny. I know we're not supposed to get excited about how shiny things are, but like, that's cool.
Yeah.
The reflection of the burn in the vehicle itself.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe it's the dust, either in the lighting either way, the reflection on the vehicle is awesome. These things are going to be a challenge to photograph whenever we actually get to do like remotes and stuff, a couple of years down the line. But I bet the photos coming off of them are going to be so cool.
Somebody said
I mean, imagine Starship. Sorry, Dos, go ahead.
No, I was making a joke about Elon using a really long selfie stick for the picture. So you have something actually informative to say. Go ahead, Chris.
It was informative. No, I was just like, Jack, to your point about photographing these things, imagine a Starship launch at morning or evening as it lifts off, reflecting the setting sun.
Yeah, if they stay with the bare stainless steel look and they don't end up painted or covered in tiles or something, I don't think the super heavy booster will get tiles at all, no matter what. But I'm not positive.
Probably not, yeah.
But yeah, if it just stays that stainless steel look and reflective, and you get that beautiful twilight morning or evening gradient color on the horizon and reflected in the vehicle, that's going to be like some album cover stuff.
Oh, it really will.
Cool shot. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that, Elon.
That's really cool right there. We do have quite a bit of super chats that came through. There is one, Bachdam. Let's say, well done all. Keep up the good work. All the best from Amsterdam, Netherlands. Thank you very much there. We've also got a membership, Entrando em Orbita. That sounds like going to orbit or something, if I had to guess. Milton says, great coverage. Thank you, Milton, for the support. Tim Schaefer as well, new membership. Claire Saunders, welcome to the membership program. What a lame thing to say. Welcome to the membership program. You'll get your packet in your hat when we don't actually give out hats. We have a shop with hats in it, but anyways, Barbara Schellenberg, hi from Switzerland, and thank you for your work. Barbara, thank you so much for tuning in, and you are welcome. It's with your support that we're able to do cool stuff like this. Robert Hobson, if you watch closely, the static fire killed a ladder on the lower right-hand side of the screen. Rabbit, I'll see if I can bring that up. Something about a ladder going flying. Well, I'll have a look. Thank you very much for the $24.99. And then No C, thanks to the Roadside Rocket Science team for keeping us up to date. No C, thank you very much for that. And then Proper, last but not least, Proper in the queue there. We appreciate the support. Also, Twitch, I haven't forgot about y'all either. Y'all are awesome, and thank you very much for showing up over there in the back room watching the stream.
Also, Bob Hobb, the $24 one who suggested the ladder thing, was one of the $100 ones earlier today. Thanks, Bob Hobb.
Yeah, absolutely. And information over there, we may need to be pretty close to spooling the stream down here, y'all. Is there anything else that we haven't gotten caught up with here?
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
I take all the crickets that I'm hearing as a indication that we haven't missed out on anything super important, right?
Correct.
Correct. Thanks. All right. So should we go ahead and spool it down now? We're gonna have to shut the camera down temporarily anyways, so it may be a good time to end it there.
I think so, yes.
All right. I don't think I've missed anything else. So
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Jack, you want to do an outro?
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you to all our new members. Thank you to all our supporters. Thank you for all our watchers and viewers. Watchers. What's wrong with me? Today we saw a successful static fire, a full duration static fire, thanks to an Elon tweet of Starship SN5. You can see it still standing there, looking fine as ever, and ready and raring to do a 150-meter hop. We even saw some road closures go up immediately after the static fire, indicative of a 150-meter hop. So hopefully we'll see this thing soon. They'll get good data from the firing today, and that's about it. Thankfully, the wayward boat earlier this morning's attempt did not make another attempt, and they rapidly were able to jam through the process this morning. And I say that, I don't know if they jammed through anything. I'm joking around, but they got through their testing flow. They got all the way through it. We heard the siren, and they fired the engine. And I mean, I couldn't be more happy that they did, and we can progress to the next set of test milestones, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Justin, oh my God.
What?
A super chat.
Justin DeLong, here's some coffee money for you all. Thanks for all you do.
Coffee.
Yeah, that's a lot of coffee. Justin, thank you so much for that ending super chat there. We really do appreciate you. Y'all, we're getting word from Mary that we are about to lose the camera. This camera for the setup here was running on an internal battery. We weren't running it off the external battery pack, so the camera is imminently going to shut down here, it looks like. So one more time, thank y'all all for joining us here. I'm just going to say we're the NASA spaceflight team. That image is going to freeze any second here, but we will see y'all later. And one more time, hey, y'all put some thanks in chat for Mary, the one out there making these live views happen. Every time we go live, it's because Mary is out there in the sun with the mosquitoes, in the wind, making sure we get these videos. So stop the stream. We'll shut down the stream with some thanks to Mary. Just everybody, if you're still watching, say thanks to Mary over there in chat. But we'll go ahead. Yeah, thanks, Mary. We'll go ahead and see y'all later. And thank you so much for all the support.
Pressure looks good. Following up. Roger, roll, Atlantic. Water towers fly! Flight outside SE off. Yikes. You bet. Concur. We don't need any more of these.